Billionaire arrived home unannounced and saw the maid with his triplets. What he saw shocked him. It was a rainy Thursday evening when Alexander Caldwell, a billionaire known for his ruthless business deals and icy demeanor, decided to return home early from a long day at the office. Normally, his mansion felt like a sterile fortress, filled with silence, the kind that echoed off the walls in a way that made his heart feel emptier with each passing day. His 3 children, triplets born just before a tragic accident had left them paralyzed, had not seen much of their father beyond video calls and hurried visits. Alexander was used to perfection in every aspect of his life, except when it came to his children, whose care he delegated to countless nannies and nurses over the years. Yet today, for reasons he couldn't explain, he felt the need to come home without warning. As he approached the massive glass doors of his mansion, a strange warmth flickered in his chest. The security cameras showed no unusual activity, which was expected, but still, an uneasy feeling crept over him. He entered quietly, the familiar echo of his footsteps bouncing off the marble floors, until he reached the living room. What he saw made him freeze in his tracks. There, in the middle of the room, stood Marie, the maid he had reluctantly hired after yet another caregiver failed to live up to his impossible standards. But it wasn't Marie's presence that startled him, it was the sight of his triplets, James, Lily, and Noah, laughing, clapping, and taking small but confident steps with Marie's careful guidance. Alexander blinked, thinking perhaps he was imagining it. 3 wheelchairs sat pushed aside, forgotten, while his children moved freely, smiling with eyes full of joy. He had expected to catch Marie making mistakes, perhaps mishandling them or being negligent, but instead, he was seeing something miraculous. She was teaching them to walk, to believe in themselves, and to experience the joy of movement for the very first time in years. Marie noticed him immediately, her hands frozen in midair as she helped James balance. There was no fear in her eyes, only quiet confidence. "Alexander," she said softly, "I didn't know you'd be home so early." Her voice was steady, calm, and strangely unshakable. Alexander struggled to find words. He had spent thousands, even millions, on therapists, trainers, and specialists, but nothing had come close to what he was witnessing now. For the next few minutes, Alexander watched silently, his heart pounding, as Marie guided his children through exercises, holding their hands, encouraging them, celebrating every tiny victory. James stumbled, then found his balance. Lily laughed as Noah helped her, and all around them, the house that once echoed with loneliness now felt alive. Alexander realized something he had never admitted. He had underestimated the power of love, patience, and human connection. All his wealth, all his accomplishments, had never come close to this moment of pure, unfiltered joy.
After the initial shock faded, Alexander stepped forward, clearing his throat. I didn't know, he stammered. Marie looked at him with a mixture of understanding and quiet pride. "I know," she replied. They needed someone to believe in them, someone to push them gently, not someone who treated them like fragile possessions. "I only did what my heart told me to." That night, Alexander sat in the corner of the living room, watching his children fall asleep exhausted but happy. For the first time in years, he felt gratitude, humility, and a newfound understanding of what truly mattered in life. He realized that all the money in the world could not replace the impact of someone who cared deeply, someone who believed in his children's potential even when he couldn't. In the days and weeks that followed, Alexander transformed. He cut back his work schedule, hired more caregivers who shared Marie's compassionate approach, and most importantly, began spending real, meaningful time with his children. He learned to celebrate small victories, to cheer for tiny steps, and to find joy in the patience and resilience of those he loved. Marie remained a cornerstone of their lives, but Alexander now participated actively, discovering the miracle of fatherhood in ways he never imagined possible. By the end, Alexander realized a profound truth: wealth might buy comfort, security, and luxury, but it was love, patience, and belief that created miracles. His children, once confined by their disabilities and his own emotional distance, thrived in an environment filled with care, attention, and unwavering support. The story of that rainy Thursday evening became a turning point, not just for his family, but for Alexander himself, a reminder that real power lies not in bank accounts or boardrooms, but in the courage to love, nurture, and never give up hope.